When life throws you a curveball, how are you going to handle adversity? Welcome to the Fearless Mindset Podcast, where you're about to go on a journey as I interview security, business, and entertainment leaders on what it takes to stay fearless. I'm your host, Mark Ludlow, and enjoy today's episode. Welcome back, folks.
Welcome back.
Thanks for being here, Liza. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. This is the least I could do, Mark, for you being my first guest on 8 Billion podcast.
What an exciting journey it has been. Now, I was going to ask you, regarding what's going on in Southern California, Orange County, I see construction going crazy. I see, I was up in Iron Ridge Lake Forest the other day, just checking it out. And I just couldn't believe of how much growth is going on. And then Chris took me over to the new campus where I think Virgin Atlantic's going in. So we got all this stuff going on. Are you hearing a lot of movement in corporate growth going in Orange County? Are you hearing any about the commercial side?
I personally haven't been paying attention to it, but I did find out about the Virgin Atlantic through Chris's post. But
I saw that too.
It would make sense at a time when people think big corporations are probably exiting California or just rethinking their structure because a lot of people are going to be working from home. A lot of big companies can come up in here in Southern California where it was very sought after and very hard to break into because it was so expensive. But now, hey, if everyone's redoing their contracts, it just even goes to show like AMC, the whole reason they're going to be able to leverage themselves to 2021 is because they sold their real estate off.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, they have cash.
They have cash now. And so, all it is just the rewriting of real estate contracts. That's why real estate's an amazing investment, guys.
Okay. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So they don't have much debt.
They know. Yeah. And then they'll have enough to carry them through that time. But I heard it was Amazon that was supposed to be buying them.
Oh.
Amazon.
Studios.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos is no longer chief executive.
I saw that. I wonder what kind of move that was for. I didn't read the article, but I saw it. I was like, oh, he's going to go behind the scenes because now he's all like, I have to beat Elon Musk. Just kidding.
It's almost like they have a competitive thing within their circles.
I have a feeling I was like, ooh, I wonder what Elon Musk is thinking now.
Mark can't stand the Apple guy. What's his name?
Steve Jobs?
No, the Apple CEO now.
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank. But Mark Zuckerberg can't stand him, and they're all competing with each other.
Right.
I want to be the wealthiest guy on the planet.
They're all power plays.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then we have this new age of authenticity where everyone's all like, it's not about the power, guys. It's all about let's just be good to each other now.
Isn't that Chris Decker's podcast?
Yep, it sure is. That's a great podcast too.
Yeah, he's rocking and rolling. They're taking Soulscast to new world, new levels.
Yes, absolutely. Glad to be on board.
Exactly.
Another thing I just wanted to bring up since have you heard of the new social media app called Clubhouse? That would be good for you to get on if you haven't.
Never heard of it.
It's in beta testing right now, if I stand correct. So please don't hold me to the factual evidence, guys, because I know this is new, but a lot of speakers, business people, even celebrities have jumped on. But I think right now, because it's in beta testing mode, it's by invitation only. So I have to see how many invites, because I don't know. There's probably an algorithm as to how many invites. So probably if you build how many followers you have more access to invite other people. Okay. But once that happens, then it'd be great for you because I think there's a lot of amazing people on there, big business people. And what it is almost like it's a platform for people to go on live, and then they host these rooms. Oh, okay. And then they talk, and then you have a moderator and a speaker, and then people can raise their hands. But it's just all audio right now.
Oh, audio. Okay, yeah. Good to know. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so I forgot to talk to you about that, but I'll definitely share that. So Clubhouse, guys, if any of you guys are in Clubhouse, give me a follow. I'll get Mark on there, so then you guys can follow him on
Thank you for the invite.
And it's neat because they operate 24 hours.
Oh, they do?
So there's so many different rooms, and then you could choose the different categories you're interested in. But I think that platform's valued at $1 billion already.
Wow.
Oh, that's the whole reason I brought it up, because Elon Musk jumped on Sunday night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
Okay.
jumped on with the CEO of Robinhood.
Oh, really? They both did.
Yeah, and then what ended up happening was this group of people created right after that a room, and they were talking all night about all the things that they were talking about between what Elon Musk covered and what he, his interview with the CEO of Robinhood. So, I mean, it's really cool to kind of just see everyone's perspective, because everyone was saying, well, did he know that he was going to go on there? Was Elon Musk asking questions specifically so he could save the reputation, or was he genuinely asking questions so this guy, so he could answer them? So there's discussions like that go on in Clubhouse.
Yeah, Elon Musk is definitely the eccentric type. He likes to do his own thing. He doesn't like to being told what to do.
Yeah.
How many times has he been in Washington, D.C. for congressional hearings?
I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know. I remember seeing him on CNBC a lot doing interviews and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And answering a lot of congressional questions and stuff like that. And I know Robinhood, he might be going over to Washington, D.C. here for a quick trip because of everything going on with the GameStop and all that.
Yeah, I know.
It's wild.
I'm all, shame on you, Robinhood, my son. And it's not so much the money we lost, because we know the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
It's a risk. It's a gamble.
It is.
But I was like, for making my son cry.
Making my son cry.
But yeah, it's not. I completely understand. That's the name of the game.
Now, where are you investing most of your social media investment? Is it LinkedIn? Are you on Facebook? Are you on all the platforms? Are you cross-pollinating?
Yeah, so it's interesting you asked that. So Facebook, for me, just because it's by invitation or friend me or something, that seems to hold a lot more personal stuff for me, like my family and friends.
Okay.
On Instagram, I have more of a public page. So I do, and that's where I feel like I'm active. Plus I know how to navigate through it well. For me, I used to be really big on Facebook, but there's so many different things on there now. So I think it's just preference. But for me, I'm the most active probably on Instagram, and that's where I'm going to be promoting a lot of my stuff, my real estate, the podcast, and different things that I do.
So do you feel Instagram gives you a bigger platform than LinkedIn for your real estate? Do you get more inquiries, or is it more word of mouth for you?
No, to be honest with you, I think it's just personal preference, because there are some people who build pages on Facebook and they have more followers on Facebook than they do Instagram. I think it's just being able to choose the platform that you're just the most comfortable on and navigate through it. But at the same time, don't lose out on opportunities of building Facebook, because there are going to be those people that want to follow you and they just prefer Facebook. So, I'm working with someone right now that's helping me put all of that together. All of my, my web design. So I am going to be launching LizaFlorida.com.
How are you? Congratulations. When's that happening?
I'm anticipating March.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I still have to go through the reconstruction of the Myriad Group, guys. So I'm hoping to be able to put resources out there. However, that takes time, because it's a lot of video recording of information. And as a real estate professional, you have to be careful of what you say. You know what I mean? There's still those stipulations and regulations as to how you can market yourself or what you say, because
gotcha.
Of course, you don't want to be held liable.
No, you don't get sued by the Federal Trade Commission.
Yeah. So it is taking time, so that, a lot of this has been amazing to be able to work with the sales cast team, to do the mastermind, to level up. It's just put everything into focus right now for me. And it's been, I couldn't ask to be more blessed in life, more so because of the relationships that I have. That's the most important.
You're a networking guru. I'll give you that. You know how to network. You have no fear of reaching out to somebody.
I just I love talking to people and connecting. And what I thought was just something where how can you make that a career, ended up being my strongest. I think it ended up being one of my strongest traits in life. To be able to just talk to lots of people and genuinely take interest in them.
I know I was known for being the introvert, shy guy, very. I didn't say anything in high school. I was just afraid of my own shadow. And then, come full circle later on in life, I would never imagine this.
Right.
It's just how you blossom and mature.
Never know.
So you never predict what a person's going to be like in high school for the rest of their career. You cannot put a pulse on how they're going to turn out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of wild to think about the depth of that, the psychology makeup of all that.
Yeah, it's really neat. I'm so glad that you broke out and now you're breaking records.
We'll see. Day by day, month by month.
Right?
That's the way I look at it. Just keep on going through the course, the process of, getting good guests on. And the guests are what make the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the guests make it. And then I would never guess we would have, I think we're booked all the way till April now. And I'm like, nah, I can do other things.
Right.
Now I'm going to have to go on other people's podcasts.
That's what you should do.
And so
get on other people's podcasts.
It's going to be exciting
Promote
journey.
Fearless Mindset podcast.
And then Christopher gave me, Chris and I are working on a new concept for the show. So I think we're doing like 10,000 veterans to work. So that's going to be a new concept coming up.
I know I brought my dad to the Veterans Hospital, and then I was sitting there and just watching. Like, it like warms my heart. A lot of them are older men and all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, I wonder what division or branch of military you came in, or, you know what I mean? It's kind of like going back in time and kind of imagining them. So I have a huge love for veterans. So you U.S. military veterans, thank you so much for your service.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
How many years did your dad do?
I think he did either 4 or 6 for U.S. Navy.
The Navy?
Yeah.
Vietnam?
He was a Vietnam veteran. Yeah. He always wears a hat. And so when I take him walking here in SoCal, everyone's like, thank you for your service, sir. You have a cool hat. And he's like, yeah.
They love that. Wear those hats.
Oh,
it's identity.
It is. It is right.
They all see each other on the road, pathing each other. But that thing is, they're all passing away.
I know.
My dad, 74, he passed away as a Navy vet. He loved to wear his hat. He'd get me in the wheelchair. All the girls, they would salute him. He goes,
yeah.
See, this is how you get girls, Mark. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was one guy, I stopped at like Circle K to get my dad some coffee. And then the guy drove up in his truck. He goes, is that your dad? And I said, yeah. He goes, please extend thank you for his service. And he goes, that's a cool hat. And I was like, wow, I didn't even notice how people like kind of just pay attention to stuff.
It's the sense of pride, sense of identifying with the military and what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any combat when he was over there?
That I'm not too sure. He was a cook in the Navy.
Oh, was he?
So he was actually, that's why he's a really good cook, because he was an officer cook.
Oh, wow.
So he knows, growing up, he would teach me, okay, these are your forks. This is he goes outward in, and then at the top. Then they have to know how to cook steak well because they're serving the officers.
Oh.
So my dad even was taking me to Costco and was even telling me, this is the type of meat that you buy, Lisa. And, this is how you slice it. So my dad's done his, you know what I mean? And he talks about what it was like having a lot of the Filipinos go into the U.S. military. He said, I know this might be going off subject, but he said, when the Filipinos go, they didn't drink a lot of black coffee. They put a lot of milk because milk was really expensive. So they put a lot of milk and sugar. And then maybe the American military people were looking like, oh my gosh, that's so much milk. But that's
what they like.
That's what they like. And it's really neat to kind of see the difference between cultures.
Very different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So do you see a big culture mix up in Orange County? Do you see more diversification of population now than used to be in Southern California?
I do, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was just amazing to kind of watch how Southern California boomed in just 30, 40 years, or at least from what I was paying attention to. It's very super diverse. What's really interesting, though, just because I listen to a lot of real estate experts, there's just either mass exodus out of California, or there's just so many people reevaluating life and not afraid to go into different places. Depending on what the pandemic did to them, they either sold their property or decided hey, because I can work remote, I can work from anywhere in the country.
Why not?
Yeah.
Go buy a ranch in Idaho, Montana.
Exactly.
Sight unseen. And
And as long as you have really great internet connection and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it would prove to be really good for a lot of people, especially from a mental health perspective, right?
Well, mental health, get out of the city.
That's huge. Yeah.
I know a lot of guys that run security, different corporate organizations are saying they're not having their people coming back to work until summer of 2021, at least.
Yeah, see?
Because now they're all monitoring the mutations of the COVID-19 because it's mutating a couple times from different regions of the world.
Yeah.
So different strand. Now we'll see if the vaccines work on those strands. So we got those issues to deal with.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be probably remote working will be the thing in the future.
I
And
think so too.
people just don't want to spend 2 hours one way in the traffic. I mean, I will not drive more than 30 minutes to go somewhere.
I know my timeline is 1.5 years because my son goes to college, and then
you're
from
out.
there I'm all like,
Sell
the
everything
sky's
off.
the limit, guys.
You're gonna go to Idaho, Montana, live on your ranch.
I'm gonna go find Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
I'm gonna go buy him a cheeseburger.
Buy him a cheeseburger.
And a Coke.
Crazy. Well, thanks for coming on, Liza. Appreciate your time. I know you're busy running multiple businesses, and it's been fun watching you blow up on your platform too.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure. I'm always happy to go on and share anything with, any of my insight on anything, as long as you have me back.
Yeah, she's up and coming. You want to reach out to Liza Florida. She is blowing up on Instagram on our podcast. Have some of the biggest players in the podcast game on her podcast. So she's doing well.
Thank you.
So that concludes this episode of Fearless with Liza Florida, real estate expert. And we'll see you guys all next time. And we'll answer questions when we see them coming through.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.